With 2020 coming to a close, we thought we would take a break from doing reviews and have a bit of fun, because the end of the year is the perfect time to reminisce and look back on all the great products we have been able to review this year. So sit back, relax, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already, and join us for our first ever Product of the Year Awards. In case you're wondering how we came up with this list, the only criteria was that a product had to be featured or reviewed on this channel in 2020. And this meant that a couple of dark horses really kind of snuck in there because we technically didn't review them, but Christy and I lived with them for a while. So you're going to learn about some stuff for the very first time. So in that spirit, let's have some fun. Let's find out if your picks were our picks for Product of the Year. First category up is Amplifier of the Year, and this could include a stereo or mono amplifier as well as an integrated one, because we reviewed a ton of these types of products in 2020, and we had quite a few contenders in this category, and three of the contenders included the Name Unity Atom, the Technics GU700, as well as the Yamaha AS1200, but the winner by a country mile was the Musical Fidelity M8XI. This integrated amplifier blew both Christy and I away this year. Nothing came close to touching it. And it just made everything sound amazing. And in all my years of doing this is one of the few, if not only, integrated amplifiers that I really felt delivered on the promise of giving people separate or discrete component performance, but all in a single chassis. And I would put the performance of the M8XI up against the likes of Mark Levinson's reference stack of gear, Pass Labs, Krell, I mean, all the usual suspects. And yet Musical Fidelity did it not only cheaper, but in a single chassis. And that is why it is our amplifier of the year. The next category is AV receivers. Now, this is a category that we kind of grew into in 2020. So we didn't have a lot of receivers on the channels, but we did have a lot of standouts. But one of the two standout performers, one of which is our winner, but the runner-up was the Sony 1080, the STR-DN 1080. I was blown away. I was blown away by this sub $600 AV receiver. I know it's a few years old now, but it really does speak to its overall value proposition, that it continues to be relevant in 2020, which is why it was almost our winner. But the winner of Best AV Receiver of 2020 is the NAD T778. This receiver was just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Arguably one of the better AV receivers that I have ever encountered for both music and movies. The built-in Blue OS is fantastic. I love that touchscreen. And the modular construction of the T778 does offer a bit of promise for the future. I know a lot of you that are shopping for AV receivers tend to look at them and like, oh, well, is it going to be obsolete in a year or two? And I never really know how to answer that question, because you never know what's coming around the bend. And yet NAD has this modular design, which in theory should make the T778 a much better investment long term. And that's why it is our AV receiver of 2020. And our next three categories all have to do with loudspeakers, and we broke them down by price. And the price is based on MSRP as set by the manufacturer. In 2020, we are all well aware that prices can fluctuate radically. So understand that these categories are broken down by the manufacturer's suggested retail price. And first up is the best speaker under $500. And we had a couple of contenders in this category, one of which was almost the winner. Actually, Christy got the deciding vote on this one. But contenders included the Yamo HCS S803 speaker system. It included the Q Acoustics 3010i bookshelf loudspeaker, and the runner-up, which was initially my pick, was the Fluence XL8S bookshelf loudspeaker. That is a fantastic loudspeaker through and through. Have no problems recommending it, and like I said, it was almost our Speaker of the Year under $500. But the winner goes to the Yamo S809 Tower. Holy hell, that speaker is just packed with value, not to mention performance, especially when you consider that you can get a pair for under $500. It is actually one of the better looking loudspeakers we reviewed this year, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, no matter at what price point.
Yeah, I mean, Yamo has the style aspect of speaker design, in our opinion, on lock. And the fact you get this much style and performance for under $500 made it a no-brainer for it earning our Speaker of the Year under $500. And the next category is Best Speaker under $1,500. Now, this became incredibly competitive, and we had a very late entry that you're going to see later in the month, but it did include candidates like the Yamo C97 Mark II, you know that's a favorite of ours, as well as the Wharfedale Denton 85th anniversary. But the winner, or should I say winners, because we actually couldn't decide on a winner, so this will be a joint win. And the first winner is the Klipsch RP8000F Tower loudspeakers. I mean, okay, I'll just be frank with you. I don't care what some of you or what some people on the internet may say about these loudspeakers. I don't care about their measurements. I don't care about any of that, because at the end of the day, when you sit down and you listen to these giant towers, I mean, come on. Come on. If you can't tap your toe and get little goosebumps from listening to these speakers, I'm not going to say you're dead inside, but come on. They are just so good. And the fact that they are this affordable makes it a no-brainer as to why they are one of our Speaker of the Year under $1,500. And our second winner, you're going to have to wait until that review goes live later this month. And the next category is Best Loudspeaker over $1,500. And this got even more competitive. And in fact, I think our winner is going to be a huge surprise to all of you that watch this channel regularly. But some of the nominees included the Klipsch Heresy Mark IV. I know you're probably expecting that one to win, weren't you? It didn't. The Technics G90, while technically we didn't review this loudspeaker, they did make an appearance on this channel, and they also made one heck of an impression on Christy, as well as myself, so they are nominated. And of course, the Q Acoustics Concept 300 bookshelves. What could have possibly won, huh? It is the Bowers & Wilkins 702 Signature that wins our Best Speaker of the Year over $1,500. Shocked? I know. I think a lot of you watched that review and thought that I hated that particular loudspeaker, when in fact, I was frustrated by what it took to get the most out of this particular loudspeaker. But once we got the mixture, the formula just right, the 702 signatures are fantastic. They are absolutely fantastic. They are arguably one of Bowers & Wilkins' best loudspeakers, at least right now. And I absolutely love them. Christy, I mean, the fit and finish is just...
Oh, they're gorgeous.
They're absolutely gorgeous. And
especially if you like a more traditional design.
Oh, totally, totally. And it's just everything about its performance, once you get it right, is next level. So it actually wasn't even a contest as to which speaker we were going to name. Okay. There was a little bit of debate, but when you really stopped and when we stopped and thought about it, it was the 702 deserves the win, and that's why it is our Best Speaker of the Year over $1,500. The next category is televisions. Again, televisions, we actually reviewed a few in 2019, but we really started to ramp up our TV reviews in 2020. And we had a couple of really great TVs come through this house. And this was a tough one, especially for me. Some of the nominees included our LG 8K NanoCell, which you have seen in every video since it arrived. The Hisense H9G, the TCL 6 Series Mini LED, which surprised both of us. I was not prepared for that television at all. As well as the 90 series NanoCell from LG. But our TV of the year is the Sony A8H OLED. I know, we have made a lot of noise about how other TV technologies are catching up to OLED, but still in 2020, in our opinion, the reference standard remains OLED. And while OLED is not perfect, between the goalposts, it plays the game better than anybody. So congratulations, Sony, on your A8H OLED TV, as it is our best TV of 2020. And the next category is Soundbar of the Year. Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
Soundbars are my absolute favorite thing to review on this channel. Full stop. I absolutely love reviewing soundbars. In fact, I absolutely just love soundbars in general. So I'm really excited about this category because there were some real standout soundbars in 2020. Some of the nominees included the Klipsch Cinema 600, the LG, what is it, SR11QPD, what?
It's the
Dolby Atmos reference.
It's the SN11RG.
The SN11RG soundbar. I don't know who names these things. Who's supposed to remember that, honestly? The Samsung Q950T, that review is coming, but it didn't win because... We should almost insert a drum roll or something, but the winner of Soundbar of the Year is the Sennheiser Ambio. Holy crap. That thing is awesome.
It's so
good.
All you haters out there that say a soundbar can't compete with separates or whatever.
A dedicated home theater or even a 2-channel system.
You clearly haven't heard the Ambio.
I mean, look. It's not the prettiest soundbar.
It's ugly. Sorry, Sennheiser.
It's not the prettiest soundbar. And I really hope that enough people buy the Ambio that they're going to make a Gen 2 or Gen 3 and that they address some of the physical appearance of this soundbar. But performance-wise, oh my gosh, like just... I don't know. It maybe in crazy large rooms, it's not going to be enough. But I think for the vast majority of people and the vast majority of living spaces, if you are looking at really wanting a home theater, maybe even a 2-channel system, but the idea of surrounding yourself in speakers and wires and boxes is what is giving you pause, go check out the Sennheiser Ambio. I mean it. Maybe you won't buy it. Maybe it is too expensive, but you need to check it out for yourself, because hearing is truly believing. And that is why the Sennheiser Ambio is our Soundbar of the Year 2020. And the next category is turntables. Now, at one point this year, we had over a dozen turntables in this house at one time.
Oh, it wasn't that many.
I think it was. It was at least 10.
We usually percolate around 10.
Yeah, it was at least...
It's too many.
Yeah, I mean, you can only listen to so many turntables at a time. But the competition for this particular award was pretty competitive. Some of the nominees included the Andover Model 1, the all-inclusive...
I think you really need to tell people why you put this on here.
The Andover Model 1?
Yeah.
Look, the Andover Model 1, I know it's based on a project design, but the reason that turntable is on the list, it didn't win, but the reason it's on the list is because next to our winner, no other turntable in 2020 got used more than the Model 1. When that was in our home, set up for review, we almost never stopped listening to it. And so you can say what you want. You can say what you want about being a vinyl purist and all of that. You know me, if you go way back to the start of this channel, the best turntable is the one you can afford or the one that gets used. And the Model 1, oh my God, it got used. But Other contenders were the Technics 1210 GAE that we unveiled on this channel. It wasn't a review, but we unveiled it, and I mean, it was just amazing. That turntable was so good. Another contender, and Christy had to put this one on the list, was the Yamaha MusicCast 500. You know what? This table grew on me. It was never going to win, but I actually think that it's probably more along the lines of the future of turntables in general, because I do think that they're going to have to be really kind of multifunctional devices, especially as space and systems shrink. You're going to need things to do, multiple things.
I think that more importantly, if you really want to grow this hobby, it's products like the MusicCast that are really going to bring, I think, new people to vinyl.
Oh, 100%.
You can stream to it, and you get to play records. And I know of course, is it the best sounding turntable? No, and no one expects it to be. But that's not what it's about. And if people that are super hardcore about their sound and everything can just take a step back for 2 seconds and look back to when they started. Come on. 99% of you didn't start with the Technics. And if you did, it's because you found it at a garage sale, or it got loaned to you by like a family member.
Right.
And if you were one of those people, then you were among the lucky.
You know what it does is it welcomes music lovers into the hobby by coming at them using the platform they likely are more familiar with, which is streaming, and then getting them interested in vinyl. And that is why I think the MusicCast 500 is so important. And I also think that is one of the core things about another runner-up, which was the Audio-Technica LP140 XP turntable. Again, it gives you a lot of the functionality of the Technics 1210 GAE, but obviously at a far more advantageous price. But you can start to sort of build off that table and upgrade it until its performance gets within spitting distance of some really, truly high-end tables. But none of those were the winner.
Nope.
None of those were the winner. The winner of the best turntable of 2020 goes to the Cambridge Audio Alva TT. I loved this table. This table, first of all, a lot of turntables try and look nostalgic. This one doesn't. This one embraced the future, not only in its design and simplicity, but also in its feature set. Direct drive, push button speed control, built-in phono preamp that was absolutely fantastic. Great cartridge that comes pre-installed right off the rip, and Bluetooth connectivity that honestly, in our system, was almost, if not indistinguishable from its wired connection. And this meant that we actually placed the Alva like all over our house, and we're able to listen to it through our system without the turntable physically having to be there. I love it. I love it, and I'm sad to say when that review was over, because we had so many turntables in-house, not thinking, I didn't hang on to it and I sent it back. And I have kicked myself every single day since. In fact, I may actually end up buying one for myself this holiday season because I absolutely love it. And the next category is source component. Now, Christy and I stream a lot of our music and movie content, and a lot of that we rely on apps that may be built into either the device or the TV that we're reviewing at that time. So we don't really do a lot of source components in the traditional sense. I know a number of you have asked, like, you should do CDs and stuff like that. And honestly, we don't really own CDs. So short of having to go build a CD collection just to review CD players, I don't think that's going to happen. But that didn't stop us from getting to experience quite a number of great source components. And some of the runners up in this category included the Auralic Altair G1, which I really liked. I really liked that piece. I thought it was beautiful. The sound was arguably the best digital sound I heard all year. Another runner-up, which you guys never saw, but we have relied on all year, which is the NVIDIA Shield. This little stick, I guess you could describe it as a stick, this little stick, video processor, and I don't even know. It's like a little mini computer, really. It actually has been Velcroed to the back of a lot of our televisions because if we don't like an operating system, Roku, we actually plug the NVIDIA Shield into that TV and just bypass it altogether. But more than that, believe it or not, even though it is a 4K device, when it's plugged into even an 8K TV like our LG, it actually does make the picture clearer.
It does.
Clearer, better. And you would think that that would be enough to make it our winner, but it's not. Another candidate was the Cambridge Audio Edge preamp / streamer. This was just a beautiful piece of kit inside and out. The performance was exceptional and it was almost our winner. But the winner of the best source component of 2020 goes to the Auralic S50 Pro. This tiny little unassuming silver box packs almost all of the technical performance of a Name Unity Atom and does so under $200. In fact, this little box is Velcroed to the back of our BDI Octave cabinet and as a result has been used to stream Tidal and other music services almost exclusively all year. So if you have ever watched one of our reviews and it's been of an integrated amplifier that doesn't have, say, a built-in streamer or a DAC, the source component was the S50 Pro. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad we kind of stumbled upon it and made it a part of this channel because it is amazing. So congratulations, Auralic, on the S50 Pro. You are our source component of the year 2020. Next up is AV accessories, and I know this may be a category that you may think you don't care about, but 3 of the nominees in this category were asked about by you guys, the viewers, more than any other products on this channel, I think combined. We couldn't go a video without someone asking about one of these 3 products. So the nominees include the solid steel speaker stands, which they're the tripod stands that you guys have seen in a lot of our bookshelf reviews and have asked, who makes those stands? And we're always like, links are in the description. And then you're like, I didn't find them. And we're like, they're down in the description. But yes, the solid steel speaker stands were a nominee, but they were not our winner. Another nominee included the HDMI ARC to analog audio extractor. I actually don't know who makes this because we have 2 of them now. And while we've fulfilled the same order through Amazon, they have come from 2 different brands, but they both work. And one of which is Velcro to the back of our BDI all the time. And it allows us to connect our TV to any analog device that doesn't have HDMI connectivity. And it just works flawlessly. I think they're like I think they're under $50. They're fantastic, but not our winner. Another nominee includes probably the second most asked question on this channel, and that is, how do you get art on your screen? Well, that is a free app that we found on the Google Play Store. It's also on Roku, and it may be on other streaming platforms, but it is ArtHola. I'm letting the cat out of the bag, guys. It's the end of the year. This is my present to you. ArtHola is how we do that. Now, I do want to warn you, it does appear to be an open source platform and people can contribute their artwork to this freely. So it may not always be suitable for children. The content that you're able to find on here, it may not always be suitable for children or suitable for work. You have been warned. But the winner of Best AV Accessory 2020 is the BDI Octave Media Console. I mean, This is arguably the most important product we have in our arsenal. Full stop. It really is. And I know there might be some of you watching this going, it's an equipment rack, it's furniture, it can't possibly be more important than a speaker. It is. It is. It allows us to do our job here. Not only does it allow us the flexibility to have multiple types of components, it elevated everything. Some of you have been watching this channel for a while. I remember the white IKEA. You remember it because a lot of you thought it looked pretty slick, but ever since the BDI arrived, we realized we had to step it up. We had to step it up quite a bit. And we've actually not only elevated the cinematography of this channel, I think, in direct relation to it. I'm pointing to it like right there, in direct relation to it. But I think we also elevated our decor to a certain degree because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and you're never getting ours back. So the BDI Octave Media Console is our AV accessory of the year 2020. Which brings us to our final category, which is overall product of the year. This is no genres, no compartmentalizing, all things considered, what was the best product of 2020 on this channel. What do we debate this one for like a good hour? No, we didn't. This was like
maybe the easiest.
Yeah,
Easiest.
You're right.
So I think you should lead off with the nominees.
The nominees. Okay. BDI Octave Media Console. It's that good. I'm serious. It really is. The Klipsch Heresy Mark IVs.
Wait, you mean they're not winning?
They're not winning.
For shame.
I know people are probably watching this going, they're not winning anything?
Yeah,
No.
WTF.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
they didn't win. A third nominee was the LG 8K NanoCell Smart TV. This one came close. It came close. It came very close, but it's not the winner.
The Ambio is
The Ambio, the Sennheiser Ambio soundbar.
We've gushed about them
We've
enough.
gushed about them enough, and you might be thinking, well, what's left? The winner.
Yeah, the winner.
The winner chicken dinner. The best product of the year overall in 2020 on this channel was the Name Unity Atom. The single most used product on this channel.
We could not have had a channel without
We
it.
wouldn't have a channel without this. In fact, every single loudspeaker that we have reviewed in 2020 has been connected to the Unity Atom. And no component gets plugged in on our personal time faster than the Unity Atom. It is what we turn to. It is what we rely on. And honestly, I think it is borderline perfect. I really, really do. And this was not a hard decision to make. So congratulations to Name. Your Unity Atom is our overall product of the year for 2020. So with all of the official awards handed out, there are just a couple more categories, more or less for fun and more or less personal to each of us. Christy has some picks, I have some picks, that we thought we would share with you. And the first is just what is your personal favorite? I mean, I know that you can recognize that a product is better or best for overall categories, but your personal favorite product of 2020.
Well, it's a bit of a tie for me.
Okay.
So first off is the Sennheiser Ambio.
Yeah.
I never expected a soundbar to perform at that level. I mean, I think, if you remember, Andrew, like when we first met, I had a really shitty soundbar. I don't even remember the brand. Was it? Do we even say?
It was a Sony.
Was it?
It was a Sony.
Are you sure it wasn't a Samsung?
No,
it was a Samsung TV.
Samsung TV, Sony soundbar, and it was old. Like we're talking like a generation, like early. It was early, so it's okay that it was bad because it was pre-awesomeness.
Yes, and honestly, I didn't really know what I was missing, but I still loved music and had a great time with it, and that's what's great about audio equipment, that it doesn't have to be the best. You can still have a great time with something that maybe at the end of the day kind of sucks. But so when we brought the Ambio into the house, it was kind of a revelation, and yeah, no brainer.
One of your favorites.
It's one of my favorites. But really and truly, the system, it's a system that I miss probably a little bit every single day. Is the Technics system that we had in the house for a short time. The G90 speakers.
The SU G700 integrated and the 1210 GAE turntable.
Yes, that amplifier. I don't really care about the CD player, but the amplifier speaker combination was maybe some of the best sound I have ever heard. It rivals my very first Hine experience that took place here in Austin at Whetstone,
which was DeVore Fidelity speakers and bandwidth audio tube amps with a really nice record player, which I don't recall. But the cartridge on that record player, I think he said was $13,000 or $14,000.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It was
expensive.
It was really
expensive, but
so good.
Goosebumps, producing type of an experience. And since then, I've been kind of chasing that drug and everything sounds great. Like, look, everything sounds good. It really does. But nothing since has measured up to the Technics, except maybe the Bowers and Wilkins Formation Duo, which we don't have either anymore.
But that was last year.
Was last year, so that didn't qualify. Womp, womp, womp. But Technics, if you're listening, please send this stuff back because
I will say
we can actually. We would love to be able to live with it longer term and
really
expose more people to it because it's so good.
They are probably one of the best kept secrets by accident.
And those speakers are old.
Yeah. Oh, the whole lineup isn't that new. It's just look. I don't know about other people's business practices as far as what they're hoping to achieve if they're trying to keep a measure of exclusivity, but they are sitting on some real gems that I think would probably be very popular in the hi-fi audiophile space if they were just more readily available. Their stuff is fantastic. And that system makes the argument of system synergy, why it's so important, but why maybe it makes sense to stick with one brand from top to bottom because they were all designed around each other and it shows.
Well, and the reason, and here comes to the reason why the speakers and that amplifier didn't technically win any of their respective categories, and it's because while very good on their own, they were so good when they matched together, but didn't quite live up to that same performance when paired with other components and speakers, and so.
Absolutely.
It was hard not to, because trust me, I did fight for Technics to win in other categories, but when I really thought about it, I was like, well, yeah, but remember when you had put it to, for example, the Bowers and Wilkins 702 signatures, it was good, but it wasn't
musical fidelity good.
And it wasn't the same as how good it was on its own speaker. But
and same thing with the G90. When the G90 was paired to the 700, it arguably was better than the B&W Signature. But when the G90 was paired with a different amplifier, it was just below.
Yeah.
And system synergy. That's a good list. And she did fight hard for Technics. So my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I have two as well. My first favorite kind of thing of 2020 is just the Klipsch Heresy Mark IV and now La Scala, just the heritage line of speakers. I just really, really like the act of listening to music through these products. I love sitting in front of them, and I just love losing time with these particular speakers. And I know that they're not perfect. And I can see and hear the imperfections, but music's not perfect either. And I think that adds to their charm, is because they're not trying to be something that they're not. They're just trying to be engaging. And in that respect, I enjoy listening to these types of speakers, specifically the Heresy Mark IVs and now the La Scalas, probably more than anything. So that is one of my first favorites of 2020. My second favorite thing of 2020 was getting to work with you.
Aww.
It was. That was actually, I don't know how to give an award for that, but Chrissy came on pretty much full time to this channel in 2020 due to obviously circumstances that we all know too well. And for someone that honestly didn't know anything about this industry, you guys have no idea just how much of what you see on this channel is steered by her now. I know I'm the dorky face that you get twice a week, and you know we review products and stuff, but when you guys request something, she's the one that goes out and gets it. When manufacturers, you know, want to talk to you guys through us, they have to go through her. She reviews every script. Obviously, this episode was not scripted, but she reviews every single script. You hear her in the background, in the outtakes. You've heard her on the members section. Like, we don't have a channel. There is nothing for you guys to watch without her. And it has been just awesome. It's been my favorite thing. It really has. It has been my favorite thing. And the biggest reason why it has been my favorite thing is I have been doing this for so long that she keeps things in perspective for me. And watching genuine discovery happen for the first time, because a lot of this is a first for you, is the best gift in the world. It's the best gift in the world. We become so jaded as enthusiasts and audiophiles and whatever you want to call yourself, because we think we know it all. We think we've heard it all. And it leads to these just toxic types of conversations that everyone needs a recalibration from time to time. And being able to sit with somebody that has no preconceived notions is just the greatest gift that someone in my position, it can be given. And so, yeah, working with you is arguably my favorite thing about this entire show and channel. Better than all the gear, better than everything, because it really is. I know it's stressful. I know this job is stressful. I know we stress the details and we freak out over deadlines and stuff like that. But all in all, she makes it a lot of fun. So if you could please say thank you to my wife and to the producer of this show. She really does help make it happen. And she deserves all the praise in the world. And I love you.
I love you too.
So
that was the sweetest.
She didn't know I was going to do that. So yeah, I think that's our show.
I think that's it.
I think that's it, guys. I know, a little bit different. It's a little loose, but I liked it. I really liked it. I'm not saying that every episode is going to be like this, but this was fun. This was a lot of fun. So that's it. That is our Product of the Year award show for 2020. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I don't have a question of the day. Just tell me what you think. How did we do? How did we do? If you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Ring the bell so that you're notified when new videos come out. We are still, this is important. We are still raising money for Feeding America. There's still time to make someone's day, to make their holiday, not with gifts, but with food. So please click donate somewhere on the screen. I don't know if you're watching on your phone, iPad, or whatever. I don't know where the donate button is. It's everywhere. Just click it. Click it, please, and donate what you can. It doesn't matter if it's $1, $5, $50. If you can spare it, please join us in donating to help Feeding America. 100% of your donation goes to people in need. Get a meal this Christmas, please. Okay. Oh, If you want to know anything more about these products, our winners, some of our runners-ups, links, as always, are in the description below. And if you use any of the links that Christy kindly slaves over, know that that is just a great way that you guys have repeatedly shown your support for this channel and the work that we do here. Follow me on Instagram at Recovering Audiophile, and we are officially done. So, remember, I feel like I should do a sing-along, like a bouncy ball or something like that. But anyway, remember, the only person that has to like the sound of your system is you. Happy listening, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We couldn't do this without you. And we will see you on the next video. Bye.